Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is December 11th, 2024, and today we're going to discuss the reactions to Barcelona's victory in the Champions League. Also, the Royal Spanish Football Federation have officially handed Hansi Flick his punishment for his red card that he received in the match against Real Betis. And finally, a new contender has emerged for the signing of Jonathan David. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Now beginning this video with the great news that Barcelona defeated Dortmund today in the Champions League 2-3 in what was a very difficult and challenging match for Barcelona against a difficult opponent in a difficult stadium. But Barcelona, despite this challenge, was still able to pull a very important victory thanks to goals of Rafinha and a double by Ferran Torres. Now, I did do a post-match live analysis, so if you want to hear my analysis and thoughts in regards to the Barcelona-Dortmund match, make sure to check out the video on the channel. Now, Hansi Flick had some pretty good things to say after the match in regards to Barcelona's victory, and this is what the German coach had to say. We can be very happy with what we did, as we believed. The first half was wonderful, and in the second half, when they scored, we were stable. Suffering is not the right word. Dortmund played very well. They are fantastic players who have a very high tempo, but we did well. The goals happened because we made mistakes. We can always improve, but today I have to say congratulations to the team because they did great. The positive thing was the ball possession in the first half. We played calmly. When we made the changes with Fermin and Ferran, they were direct. So I have to agree with Hansi Flick's assessment of the match. Of course, I did touch on this in more detail during the post-match live analysis, but I think Barcelona had a really great first half where they dominated the match, where they created chances, they moved the ball quickly, they recovered the ball quickly when they lost it, and they exerted asphyxiating pressure on Dortmund that didn't allow the German team to do much. However, the team was not able to maintain that tempo or that form throughout the second half. But despite Barcelona's form dipping and despite Dortmund putting Barcelona against the ropes, the team was still able to fight back, and they were still able to score 3 goals and take the home this very important victory. Now, Hansi Flick did have a really positive update in regards to Rafinha, because as some of you might notice, right before he was subbed, he was seen going down on the floor. He was trying to stretch his leg. He looked like he was in pain. However, Hansi Flick confirming in the post-match press conference that Rafinha is not injured. So this is definitely great news because we do need Coutinho in our upcoming matches. So it's good to hear that he's not injured. I think he's just very, very exhausted. He's been playing every single match, even during the the FIFA international breaks. So hopefully Rafinha can get some rest because he did look pretty exhausted. Now, the start of the night, Ferran Torres, who scored a double, also had some words to say in the post-match press conference. And this is what the Barcelona GOAT had to say. Now, of course, I say GOAT jokingly, but this is what Ferran Torres had to say. I went out to help the team because they were putting us under pressure. With all the great play the team was having, I just had to run into space, and that's how the goals came. These are the games that bring you together, We knew how to suffer. We didn't let ourselves down after they tied the game twice, and we won the game. This victory is everything. Being able to get back into the swing of things, seeing how we celebrated the goals. We are happy to be able to dedicate the victory to the fans. So Ferran Torres talked about these are the kind of wins that bring teams together because the team had to suffer all throughout the second half, and they had to do it together. They suffered together, they fought together, and they were able to pull the victory together. And well, I hope that Ferran Torres is correct because, of course, Barcelona needed some injection, some boost on morale, some boost in mental encouragement, whatever you want to call it, given bad performances in the last string of matches. So hopefully today's match will help Barcelona get re-motivated again and find its form from the beginning of the season. Now, the Barcelona victory over Dortmund was not the only one, because as you know, there's also the Youth Champions League, where the Juvenil A on the under-19 Barcelona team also defeated Dortmund, and they also did so by the same score, 2-3. By the way, they've been getting pretty much very similar results to the first team, so a lot of times with the same scoreline. So the Juvenil A have been pretty much predicting the results of the first team, because the Juvenil A usually plays first earlier in the day. But today, Juvenil A defeated Dortmund 2-3 by the same scoreline. But that's not the only news, because guess who debuted in today's match? It's no other than Shane Kluivert, the son of the Barcelona legend Patrick Kluivert, the 17-year-old left winger who debuted today with Barca's Juvenil A, or under-19, in the Champions League, or in Barcelona's victory over Dortmund 2-3 in the Youth Champions League. Now, from good news, we move on to bad news, because the Royal Spanish Football Federation have confirmed Hansi Flick's punishment for that red card that he received in the match against Real Betis. And they have confirmed that Hansi Flick will receive a 2-match ban. That means that he will miss the match against Leganés and also the match against Atletico de Madrid, which is the last match of this year, which means that Hansi Flick will not be back on the sidelines in La Liga until next year, mid-January, which is when Barcelona will play against Getafe, because of course Barcelona do have other matches before that, including the Copa del Rey match and also the Spanish Super Cup semi-final, and of course if they advance, also the Spanish Super Cup final. Now, Barcelona are preparing an appeal to try to reduce the ban or remove it altogether, because of course Flick did not insult the referee, did not scream at the referee, did not even talk to the referee. He simply exclaimed to himself, but yet the referee decided to give him a red card. Now we will end today's video with the news that a new contender has emerged for the Canadian Jonathan David, and it's no other than Bayern Munich. Now, as you know by now, Jonathan David's contract expires at the end of the season with Lille, and he has rejected Lille's renewal offer because he's looking for a new challenge. Tottenham Hotspur were the latest club to make a substantial offer to Jonathan David in order to sign him next summer as a free agent. But now German media outlets are confirming that Bayern Munich have made Jonathan David a substantial and lucrative offer in order to lure him to the Bundesliga, because they want him to be kind of the substitute of Harry Kane. Now, Jonathan David, of course, prefers to come to Barcelona, but Barcelona have yet to make a decision on whether to sign Jonathan David or not. They've been tracking him for quite some time. Some reports saying that Barcelona have been tracking him since last season, but there is disagreement within the club on whether Jonathan David would fit in Barcelona's style of play. So they have yet to make a decision on whether to sign him or not. And Jonathan David has reportedly decided that he will make a decision on where to go next in January. So in other words, Barcelona will have until January to make their decision. Otherwise, Jonathan David could end up joining another club, including Bayern Munich or Tottenham Hotspur, who have made official offers to the player. Anyways, that is all the news for this video. Again, I did do the post-match live analysis. If you haven't seen it yet, make sure to check it out. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, peace, Barça.